Okay, so this is just a little guide to solving number 12 on 5.2, the bookwork. And the general gist of 12 is just to, so basically you're creating an open-top box out of a sheet of cardboard that's 6 inches long. 6 inches long, you can see right here, and it's 3 inches wide. So you can see 3 inches right here. And then it says you make a square flap on the side length of X, each corner by cutting along one of the flaps and folding along the other. Once you fold up the 4 sides of the box, you glue each flap to the side it overlaps. To the nearest tenth, find the value of X that maximizes the volume of the box. So now, anyways, so basically what we want to do here is we want to find, so volume is composed of length, it's length times width times height. So so that's a formula from geometry, and so if you think about it, so this side length here in this tiny square is X, and then this side length here is also X, and all these squares have a side length of X. That means that the length, let's do by a big L, is equal to 6 minus 2x. And the width is equal to, so you have x right here and x right there, so 3 minus 2x. And the height is equal to, well, if you look here, you can see that the height's actually going to be equal to x. So, go. Because that's gonna be the height after you fold everything. So now you have this. You essentially have this length, width, and height. And so now what you want to do is you want to multiply these together. So you want to do a function. Let's say y equals, now let's do x times 3 minus 2x times 6 minus 2x. And so now what you basically want to do is you want to find, so your goal is to find the maximum amount of volume that you can have in this instant. And let's see. So now basically what you want to do is you'll want to graph this function on your graphing calculator. So let's just erase this for a brief moment. And so now when you graph it, you should end up with a function that looks something like this. It's a cubic function, obviously, because your degree of x, if you multiply everything out, is 3. And so you want to do is you'll want, on your graphing calculator, you'll want to do second function, calc. So I'm just going to write the steps for the calculator. So you want to go second, then you want to go second calc, which is on your trace button. And once you go to second calc, you want to, and you basically just want to, let's see, it's number 4. you just want to hit number 4, and they'll basically just tell you the boundary. So this is where you want to click enter on to the left of the maximum, and you want to hit right, and you want to do the right boundary to the right of the maximum. However, just don't do it too far, do it as close as you can. And this should give you the maximum. It'll tell you to guess. It might tell you to guess. You just want to click enter again. And it'll tell you the maximum, which happens to be 0.63, 5.2. And so what this basically means is that x at its highest point, x will be equal to 0.63, and y then your resulting volume will be 5.2, I believe. Let's see. Yes, that seems to be right. I'm just gonna check this on my graphing calculator just for clarification. Yep, everything looks good. And so what you'll want to do is, so now you have your volume and you have your value of x. So what you're going to want to do is you want to write, let's say you can basically just write what your new length, width, and height are. So let's see, L is basically, we said that was equal to 6 minus 2x. So 6 minus 2x give us about approximately 4.73. 4.73. Our width gives us about 1.73. And then finally our height gives us about 0.63. Of course, because that's x. And so now we have our length, width, and height, and finally our volume, which is basically this is the maximum volume this box can have, is equal to let me just okay. Our maximum volume, I don't know why this 4 is here. Let me just get rid of that. And so anyways, so our maximum volume will be equal to approximately 5.2. And it actually does say that you should round to the nearest tenth, so you'll basically your answers will just be like so. So your final length will be 4.7, your final width will be 1.7, your final height should be 0.6, and last but not least, your volume should be 5.2. Thank you for watching.